I got a great question asked me. It said, Carmen, you talk a lot about do this, don't do that, do this, don't do that. Do you have a list of common things that we have to worry about it? And he said more along the lines of mistakes not to make. So yeah, I put together a list of 10 things that are bankruptcy mistakes. And I want to go through them one at a time, kind of in detail, that these are the most common mistakes that people make when considering filing for bankruptcy. And again, we're going to touch on a few different things here. So I was going to say, if you got an opportunity to watch the whole show, fantastic, because we're going to cover a lot of material. So let's get right into it. Number one, waiting too long. It's the natural thing to do. Everybody's trying to go out and pay their bills and make money and get rid of their credit card debt, get rid of their mortgages, get rid of their student loans, and I get that. Sometimes, though, people wait too long to file the bankruptcy. It would have been more advantageous to file when you were out of work. Now you go back to work, you start making money again, and guess what? Now I can't put you in a Chapter 7 because you're not eligible anymore under the means test. So they waited too long. Now they have to be in a Chapter 13 plan where they have to pay back creditors for 5 years, when 6 months before or a year before they were in the exact same financial position, but they could have been eligible at that time for a Chapter 7. You got to remember, folks, Chapter 7 is only a 6-month deal. You're in the bankruptcy court and then you're out, providing everything works out well and there's no issues. You're in and out in 6 months. Chapter 13, you're going into a reorganization/repayment plan that could last anywhere from 3 to 5 years. During that time frame, you might have to give up your tax refunds, you might have to give up any inheritances, anything could happen. What if you're in a car accident in those 3 to 5 years and you have a potential cause of action against the negligent driver? That money may have to be considered in your Chapter 13. There's a whole brouhaha going on about how much money has to come back into the estate, and the cases are all over the board, I'll be honest with you. Some states say, this is not property of the state, some say it is, and it makes you wonder how many different interpretations of the exact same law there can be. And usually there's 2, maybe 3 interpretations of the exact same language in the bankruptcy code, which makes it hard for a guy like me to try to give you the proper 100% correct answer. Because if a court in Fort Myers rules one way, and a court in Orlando rules the same way, but a court in Texas rules a different way, okay, which way do we go? Or what about Oregon? What about Alabama? We've got judges all over the place interpreting the same law. And it gets kind of complicated. So that's why you got to be real careful. But the best time to go see a bankruptcy attorney is when you first start experiencing financial problems. And I can't stress that enough. A lot of people come to see me for a free consultation, and guess what? I tell them, you're fine, don't worry about it. You're good, you're good. You don't need me. But at least they've had an opportunity to discuss their options with somebody and say, okay, I've got a game plan here, or I can do this, or I can do that. This morning I was talking to a gentleman, thought the world was going to come to an end, and I looked right at him and I said, you don't need me. He's like, I don't? No, you don't, you're fine. Oh, okay. So you get the paralysis of analysis, I call it. Some people go on the internet and they read a whole bunch of things and they're scared out of their minds, and they say, well, that might be true in California, but it's not true in Florida. Or it might be true in Ohio, but it's not true in Florida. So you got a lot of things to take into consideration there. So just be careful out there. But when you're talking about an attorney, go and see an attorney. I think almost every bankruptcy attorney I know, from Naples to Tampa, offers a free consultation. Take advantage of it. If you're experiencing some financial problems or you have questions, take advantage of it. The worst thing happens, you get your questions answered, and the attorney says you're fine, don't worry about it. If something is wrong, like you got served with a lawsuit, at least you have good counsel. So, again, if you live in Naples and you call an attorney down there and they say, yeah, come on in for a free consultation, and they help you out, fantastic, great, wonderful. So don't wait too long. Bottom line,